Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Screen Time. I'm your host Matt, and on today's episode, we'll be reviewing the new horror film from Michael and Danny Philippou, Bring Her Back. Alright, so we know them from Talk to Me, and which was really kind of surprising in how good it was at the time. And this one is no exception. This film is so good. It has some really gross sequences that were very visceral and caused my whole theatre to have a reaction. The acting is really good. The production values is really good. But yeah, a very strong watch. I would recommend you guys watch it. So more in depth into production, there are so many sequences in this film that are just batshit nuts. Batshit crazy. And it's a really strong testament to how good the production team is. Every scene that they ask these actors to act in and do is really well done. It looks so convincing. But yeah, so there's a sequence with a watermelon, there's a sequence with the table, and every time I think about those sequences, full body shivers. It's nuts. Overall, the production values are great. Now, onto more the story side. The first act is a bit slow in setting up those kind of moments and key stuff that we have to know about these characters, the character development and whatnot. But once it gets going, it really gets going. The second and the third act are really great. And it just keeps upping itself. You're like, oh, that's really weird. I don't know how they're going to up that. And they do it. And then they do it. And then they do it. And then this is where I have my biggest issue with the film. And then the final act, and I understand what they were trying to do, but that final kind of up themselves was a bit of a letdown. It didn't really hit as hard as it should have. And again, I understand what they were trying to do with like maternal instincts and whatever, but it just was meant to hit a lot harder and unfortunately didn't for me. But overall, it was definitely, the cogs were turning and upping themselves throughout it. A lot of that kind of increase in suspense and crazy batshit craziness is accredited to the actors also. So this film stars people like Sally Hawkins, Billy Barrett, Sora Wong, Jonah Wren Phillips. And all four of those actors and every single one else in this film does a really great job. So Sally Hawkins, we know her from Paddington and Shape of Water, and, you know, Wonka in a smaller capacity. And she's always kind of in this maternal figure, caring figure. And this is no exception, but this one, it's really incredible to see how much she's turned it up and how much that kind of crazy, quirky side that we saw in like Paddington, where she was like, I'm an artist, has been turned up to an 11 and she's now just crazy. And it's really shocking to see. She does it really convincingly, and I just wasn't expecting it. I only know her from Paddington. I haven't really seen Shape of Water, and it's just really visceral, really creepy to see Sally in such a crazy role. But every sequence that she's asked to act in is performed really well. And the subtleties in her performance really add to the kind of role that she performs in the maternal figure who's lying and deceptive and whatever. Those deceptive qualities would have needed to show in her performance, and they definitely did. So the other side of the two-hander is the eldest brother, and he is played by Billy Barrett. His name is Andy. Now, Andy is tortured, and the actor who portrays him in the film does a really good job at expressing all of those micro emotions and kind of experiences and those reactions that he has throughout the film to all these weird things that are going on, just add to create a really believable and kind of weirdly familiar story and narrative. So yeah, overall, really great performance. Keen to see him in some other films. And on the topic of other films, Sora Wong plays Piper. She hasn't been in any other films. This is seemingly her first role in what I could find, and she does an incredible job. And not only in the like honest portrayal of a partially sighted individual, but also just how she experiencing the world and her reactions and her kind of acting ability is really great to see in such a young and inexperienced actress. So yeah, really strong. Definitely keen to see what she does next. But by golly gee whiz, the next one, Oliver, who's played by Jonah Wren Phillips, he is asked to do some really weird things in the whole film. So creepy. Just stand there. Just do this. That's fine. Just, eat a watermelon on this. Oh! That's crazy. How did you get? How? What? It would be really interesting to see a behind the scenes on how they film certain horror sequences. Because is it real or is it cake? Is it really a wooden bench or is it cake? Kind of vibe. I want to know how they filmed it. I've seen some, behind the scenes of Final Destination kills, and it's really interesting how they make something so horrific be so easily filmed, but so believably with practical effects. So overall, Bring Her Back is a really solid film. It is a good time in the theatre. And definitely go watch it with a friend. So you could just, experience it with them. I saw it with one of my good friends. And every time something weird just happened, we just turned, what the heck? So yeah, a really great cinema experience. Even if you just want to watch it at home, movie night. But yeah, the pacing is pretty good, just issues with the beginning and the end. Actors, again, really strong, and the production values are really strong, which all add to this really kind of visceral viewing experience. A lot of the time I was queasy in some of those sequences, which is a really weird feeling for me because I don't get queasy in horror. But in this one, I got queasy. I had to take some liquids to make me not faint. But yeah, so definitely would recommend. 4 out of 5 stars for me. What did you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.